Oh, it's close. Hi, guys. I think I'm live. Just gonna check. Give it a minute to get going. I never know when it actually starts on here. So I will just wait a minute. Okay, looks like I'm live. Okay, there we go. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. What does Friday mean? Well, if you still have a job, then Friday might mean something. But it is Friday, so I like Fridays. Anticipation of the weekend and things wind down for me on Fridays. I normally don't coach on Fridays and just take the day to do what feels good. Hola, James. Thank you for joining me. Sorry I had to postpone it. Well, I forgot that I had an appointment at 10 that was going to take me maybe past 11. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to give it another hour. So I apologize about that. But everything unfolds for a reason. And I trust that if you are meant to be on this call, if this is something that you are meant to be here to share with me, that it will work for you too. And so that's the beauty of taking inspired action is there is no right and wrong. We get to just do what unfolds. And normally I would feel anxious about being late or postponing or whatever. And since we're talking about manifesting today, that's something that is really changing for me as I lean into being a co-creator with the universe is that it's all okay. It's all good. And there is no right or wrong. We get to go with the flow. We get to show up with whatever's happening and going on. And that ease and flow is just such a better way to live. So, that being said, I want to talk about manifesting. If you are watching the replay, say hi. I always love to know who's on and have a chat with you. And normally I do these in my group, but this time I felt inspired to do it on my timeline. And so this is honestly the first one I've done on my timeline in a really long time. So this is new for me to be out in the world and not in my little group. So yeah, but I felt inspired to do it. And I feel like that manifesting is such a hot topic. Everybody's talking about it, at least in my circles. Everybody's interested in it because we are evolving as a species, we're evolving as humans, and we are starting to see and realize and know that there are universal laws at work that we can't see with our five senses, but they're always there, they're always operating, just like the law of gravity is always working for you to support you in your chair, to keep you grounded on the planet. It's always working behind the scenes. We can't see it, smell it, taste it, touch it, hear it, but it's always there and we trust it. We trust that gravity is always working for us. And no different than gravity, the universal law of attraction is always there supporting us, working, doing what it does. And all we have to do is trust that it's there and start to learn how to interact and engage and live our lives in that place of trusting and knowing that that universal law is always there working in the background. Fuck, shame, and guilt. Hell yeah. So, that's why I wanted to bring this out onto my timeline because I do believe and know that there are a lot of people who are starting to see this and understand it. But it can be an interesting principle to try to apply to life because we have been conditioned to live a certain way and it's kind of counterintuitive to the universal laws. And the way we've been conditioned to live our life is through thinking and efforting and striving and making things happen and that we have to figure it out, that we have to intellectualize everything, that we have to know what's going to happen, we need to control shit. Like we have been conditioned to live in opposition to this universal principle. And that's why life is hard for so many, right? That's why life feels hard, is because we make it hard by kind of operating against how the universe really works. And just like if we're trying to operate against gravity, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to work against gravity, right? It's like, that's why would I even do that? That sounds silly. That's how we're starting to see, you know, manifesting. That's how we're starting to see energy. That's how we're starting to see co-creation. That's how we're starting to see that really when I am connected to myself, my inner being, and in alignment with my inner being and not my fear, my ego, all the things in my mind that are fucking me up, when I'm actually connected to my inner being, and then I start taking action from that place of connection, that's when things start flowing. That's when things start getting easier. That's when things start manifesting. And so, you know, science is proving this, and we are starting to open to this, doing the inner work to cultivate within the energy I want to attract. Yeah, absolutely. So this is just going to be a quick little talk today, and I wanted to just give you 5 things that you can do every day to manifest quickly. If you're new to manifesting or you're not sure even what the hell it is, let me know in the comments. And you know, if you want me to do another talk about what manifesting actually is, I can do that. I also have other resources for you. So if this is a topic that's interesting to you, but it's new for you, or you're not sure what it is, let me know. I'm happy to chat. This is something that I'm always learning about. I'm always growing in my knowledge, my ability, my experience as I practice this daily. And I love talking about it because it's becoming for me a fundamental way of life. And wow, it's a lot easier and it's a lot more fun. So, you know, that's why I wanted to do this today. So, my 5 things that I do, and let me tell you, I don't do these all the time, every day, but I do create an intention for myself that these are 5 things that really help me to manifest quickly. Why? Because manifesting, it means getting what you want, right? It means creating a desire and then bringing it into your reality. Whether that's a thing like a car or a house or money, or whether that's a relationship, or whether that's a feeling, it's all something that we want to create that we don't currently have in our physical reality. And manifesting simply means getting that thing that we want, essentially. But why do we choose what we want? Why do we pick the desires that we want? Because of a feeling that we think we're going to feel when we have that thing. So I'm currently manifesting a Porsche. I'd really like a Porsche, and I'm focused on that, right? I want a Porsche. But why do I want a Porsche? Because of how it's going to feel when I drive it, right? I imagine myself in there and the smell of the leather and the sound of the engine and, you know, how awesome I'm going to feel when I'm driving down the road. It's the experience of having that awesome car. I'm going to feel exhilarated and excited and alive and probably kind of sexy and like, you know, I'm going to have all these feelings. That's why we pick our desires. Or why do you choose to desire a certain relationship? Because of how you're going to feel, how you imagine you're going to feel in that relationship. Or why do you want more money? Because of how you're going to feel. Maybe it's going to give you freedom. Maybe it's going to help you to feel, free, or that you can do more things. You can have that flexibility of your lifestyle. You're going to have all of those feelings. It's the feeling. And so when we start to translate the things we want or the situations we want into how we're going to feel, then we can start to create the energy within ourselves on a daily basis of feeling that feeling right now. And when we can feel that feeling right now, we are then coming into alignment with the vibrational energy of that thing. So if I want to feel freedom, if that's one of the things I desire, like I desire more money because I want more freedom, you're not going to get to feeling more free by feeling constrained and scarcity right now. If you're feeling an energy of scarcity right now, you are not going to be able to manifest freedom. Does that make sense? If you want to create a feeling of happiness, everyone wants to feel happy, right? If you asked the average person, do you want to feel happy? Most people would say yes, that's a goal for most people. But if you're not happy now, you can't create happiness in the future. You can't get to a happy ending from an unhappy place. You can't create a happy destination when you're unhappy now. So that's really the challenge of this work, is how do you cultivate feeling good now, feeling the way you would feel when you have that thing, feeling it right now, so that you are starting to attract it into your life. Because if you're sitting in a place of scarcity or disappointment or fear or whatever in your current now moment, then you will attract that into your life. We're all master manifestors. James, you say this all the time, right? We're all always manifesting. It's just that we are sometimes manifesting things that we don't want. And we're not realizing, we're not waking up to the reality that we are always manifesting. So if we don't like our reality, it's a direct reflection of your inner experience. Your reality is a reflection of how you're feeling every moment. So if you don't like your reality in certain situations, then what needs to change is not out there, it's in here. And we need to start learning how to care more about how we feel than anything, because how we feel is what we attract. So if you maybe experience, I have friends who say, like, I'm such a loser magnet in relationships, right? It's like, why do I keep attracting the same person in a different set of clothes? And I have the same results every time I date. Well, it's not because you are, that there's only losers out there. No, there aren't. But when you say you're a loser magnet, it's actually true. You are like a magnet and you are attracting the same kind of person over and over, because how we feel does act like a magnet with the universe, and it brings that same energy to us. So if you're a sad person, you'll often attract sad people. If you're a happy person, you'll often attract happy people. So we want to start caring about how we feel. We want to start caring about our energy. And we want to start caring about that more than focusing on the future or the past. We need to start cultivating our now moments so that every day we are feeling good and we are feeling like we already have what we want, so that we can start attracting it. I think I can't read what you're saying. I got to put my glasses on. What did you say? Being in negative low vibe energy manifests and attracts negative low vibe energy. Exactly. And being in a high vibe positive energy attracts positive high vibe energy. So if you want to manifest quicker, then what you do every day matters, and how you feel every day matters while you are waiting for that to show up. So that being said, I wanted to share 5 things that I do, I try to do every day, that really work for me to keep me in that place of feeling good, feeling high vibe, feeling focused on what I want to manifest in the reality of that. One of those things is meditation. And if you can meditate 15 minutes, that will change your life. Meditation is so powerful because what it does is it helps train our brains to relax and calm down. It helps us to connect with our inner being. And honestly, you will start to cultivate that connection, and then you can start to get downloads and inspired action. It's really just a practice that's going to help you in so many ways. Obviously, there's so much research on meditation, but if you can meditate 15 minutes every day at the beginning of your day or at the end of your day, it's going to start to create a habit for you of paying attention to your inner world, of getting still, learning how to be still with yourself. And one of the things that a lot of people struggle with meditation is being still. A lot of people tell me, I can't be still, I can't be quiet, I can't meditate. Yes, you can. We all can. but there is resistance to it. And I read something the other day that made sense to me, and it was like something like, if you're scared to be alone with yourself, what that means is you're scared to be alone with your thoughts. And I know a lot of people who say like, oh, I could never be alone. I could never like go to a cabin for a weekend all by myself. I need to be around people. That's a fear response to being alone with your thoughts. And if that's the case, then it's time to tend to your mind. Because the more we're alone with our thoughts, what happens? The more we think thoughts. And if those thoughts are toxic or critical of yourself or negative, you don't want to be with that shit. Who does? But ignoring it, distracting, avoiding isn't helping either. So meditation is a great way to start, being with yourself in a way that's going to help you to harness your own inner energy and to start to settle down the mind and sink into your inner being. So meditating 15 minutes. The other thing I like to do is journaling, but journaling with intention to raise my inner feelings of high vibrational energy. And how I do that is I pick 5 things that I want to appreciate. So I pick 5 different things and I just journal what I appreciate about that thing. So maybe it's, the beautiful sunshiny day, and I might journal like, I'm so grateful for the sunshine and the warmth on my face and how it feels, and I appreciate this and I appreciate that. So I start to think of things that I can appreciate. I'm starting to cultivate gratitude. And when you're in gratitude, you can't really be in also a place of negativity. Like, you can't be 2 things at once. So the more you can get used to being grateful, the more you're going to feel that positive energy. Now, doesn't mean that you've got to pick 5 things that you actually are really happy about. You could pick something that you don't really want to be in your reality that is, and you can find something to appreciate about that. An example would be, oh, my knee hurts. My knee has been hurting for like 2 weeks, and I don't know why, and it's really annoying, and there's something going on, but I don't know what it is. So it's not really something I want. But I can sit there and go, okay, I'm going to find things to appreciate about my knee hurting. Well, guess what? It's my body showing me that there's something that needs tending to. So I'm thankful for my body's response to let me know that I need to pay attention to that. I am thankful because it reminds me, every time I feel that twinge in my knee, it reminds me of how grateful I am that I can go for a walk, that I have legs that work, that I can move it, so I can always find something to appreciate. So doing the 5 things, journaling, is something that really helps. Another thing is getting out in nature. Getting out in nature, like get outside, and wherever you are, in the city or the country or wherever, like get outside, look at the sky, see some trees, commune with nature. Nature is a healing place for us. So when we go out into nature and we're actually just bathing in it, we're not distracting ourselves with music or podcasts or whatever, but just be and notice the sky, the trees, feel the breeze on your face, hear the birds singing. Automatically, you are going to start feeling yourself coming back to a place of connection with yourself, because nature is a healer and nature is there for you to help you to really connect with the universe, right? So getting out into nature every day is super important. The next thing, number 4, is a feel-good rant. So say you wake up and immediately you start thinking about what you're worrying about. How many of you do this, right? I wake up and it's like, oh, immediately my mind starts going into like, what do I have to do that day? Or what needs to happen? Or what if this doesn't happen? And before I know it, I'm on a loop. I'm gaining momentum around anxiety, stress, fear, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? That sets you up for a day that is going to not feel great. And in order to manifest, we want to feel good right now. Every present moment, we want to start feeling better and better. So I think Abraham Hicks says it's like 17 seconds to turn a thought around before it starts gaining momentum and taking over. So if you're waking up and you're already in that place of like focusing on shitty stuff, you're going to gain momentum and then you're going to start attracting shitty stuff into your day. So what we want to do is like turn that train around and bring us back to feeling good. So this is what I call a feel good rant. So if I'm experiencing that, which I do, often I'll wake up and immediately I have thoughts of like worry and fear. I will stop that by doing a feel good rant. So what I do is I just start talking out loud to myself, or I'll write it in a journal, but I just start saying things that are the opposite of what I'm thinking, right? So it's like, my finances are abundant. Making money is easy for me. My health is blessed, and my relationships are all amazing, and I feel great. And it might sound silly, but I'm telling you, if you try it, it actually works. And you just keep ranting to yourself the truth of the reality you want to create until you start to feel it. So I put on some great music and I start just speaking that out. And like, whatever your situation is, say you're struggling with money. Say you are worrying about money, you wake up worrying about paying your bills, and you're not sure how you're going to make it through. I mean, we're all struggling right now with finances, right? And 2020 has been a bitch for a lot of people. So there's a lot of worry, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of stress. And that's like normal. But if we sit in that for too long, then it's going to take over our day and it's going to keep us in that place, that lower vibe place. And we don't want that, because what we want is to actually go, I'm clearing out the things that are, those negative feelings, and I'm flooding myself with the positive feelings, because that's the quickest way to get to change our reality. So instead of worrying about it and then trying to take action from a place of stress and worry and fear, we want to feel good about it and then take action from a place of feeling good. So maybe you're worrying about finances. So write in your journal or just start talking to yourself about money. And like, I know that money is just energy. And as I put good energy out into the world, good energy comes back. And, it's easy to make money, and money comes to me in so many ways. And I am open to money coming to me in so many different ways. And the universe has a million ways to bring money to me. And, you just keep talking about it. And pretty soon you'll start to feel yourself lifting up in your feelings and your energy, and you're going to start to get back into that flow place of trusting the universe, trusting that the universe is working on your behalf, that you're exactly where you're meant to be. And the contrast you're experiencing right now is for you to learn a lesson and to move through, and it's all happening for you. So that's one way for me to feel good. And then the last thing I do is take inspired action. Um, yeah, I love it too. Your spouse might think you're a little nutso if you start doing it, or your neighbors, if you're out for a walk and you're ranting to yourself, but who cares, right? You can be the crazy person who, everybody wonders about. And then when you start manifesting all this shit, they're going to want to know, how you do it, and you can tell them to do it too. And the last one is inspired action. And this is really integral to manifesting. And one of the things that we like to say is like, manifesting is not just speaking positive things out there and then sitting on your couch and waiting for Amazon to deliver it to your door. Like, that's not how it works. It's not just, feel good and everything will happen for you, or, believe it and you'll receive it. Like, that's not how it works. And that's why so many people think manifesting is bullshit, because if that's how you're going to try and do it, it isn't going to work. We are called to work on our own behalf, as well as the universe. That's why it's called co-creation. Our job is to focus on feeling good and to take inspired action. The universe's job is the how. The universe's job is to figure out how that's going to happen for you, and it's usually in a way that you don't expect. It's usually in a way that's totally different than what you think, which makes it so fun. But it's not about the how, right? What we want to focus on is feeling good and then taking action from feeling good. So inspired action is super important. So for instance, like I said, I was inspired to make this video and I'm throwing it out there, and like, I don't know who's going to watch this, and I don't really care. It's not about the outcome. It's about taking inspired action and actually doing it. So, when I meditate, often I will ask a question, or I will say like, what do I need to do today, in order to, I don't know, get clients, or what do I need to do today for my business, or what do I need to do today in this area? And I will get ideas and I will get downloads and I will get thoughts and I will get, different things and I'll write those down and then I'll do them and then I will do them. And when I take inspired action, every time it's like I don't know what to expect. Sometimes I get crazy results that I would never have imagined because it's coming from that place of inspiration. So, taking inspired action is your way of showing up and proving to yourself and to the universe that you mean business and that you're willing to act on your own behalf to move yourself forwards towards the things that you want. For me, surrendering with gratitude is what raises my vibe and attracts a higher vibe. Yeah, surrendering with gratitude, accepting the contrast, accepting your reality, which may not be what you want, but trusting that as you accept instead of resist, that you are going to move more quickly through it. We always say what you resist persists. When something's going on in our lives that we don't want, what's our tendency? To be like, I don't want this, resist, 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 distract, deny, avoid, la la la, I don't see that this is happening, I don't want to deal with it, whatever. Get angry, protest. That's what we have been conditioned to do when life throws us a curveball. But what that does is it just creates more resistance. It creates more energy around being closed and not being open to receiving. Whereas when we can go, oh, that's happening. I can see that that's contrast. There's a reason that that's happening in my life. And most likely it's because I need to learn a lesson. What is the lesson? I'm going to surrender to that lesson. I'm going to surrender to the contrast and allow it to be here in my reality right now because I know that it's here for a reason. And then I can move more quickly through it instead of getting all bogged down with all of my resistance about it. And then before I know it, I'm back on my merry way and, moving forwards. And taking inspired action is part of that. Going, okay, what feels inspiring for me today? What feels good for me to do today? What does my inner being say to do right now? Maybe your inner being is telling you to take a nap. Maybe your inner being is saying, hey, let's go for a walk. Maybe your inner being is saying, hey, let's go create a Facebook post that's about this topic and start a conversation with people. Maybe your inner being is saying it's time to let's address this issue, pay your taxes or whatever. Maybe that, listening to your inner being is going to give you that divine guidance. It's your GPS system of life. It's your inner GPS system. So instead of taking action from ego, fear, control, power, resentment, avoidance, all the shit that our brain tells us to do, efforting, striving, all that, then maybe what we need to do is connect into our inner being and go, what is my inspired action today? What am I going to do that feels good? What am I going to do that feels easy? And that's counterintuitive. We've been taught that life is supposed to be hard. But it's actually not. Life is meant to be easy. Life is meant to be in ease and flow. And I never used to believe that. I used to believe life is hard. Just pick your hard because life is hard. It's no, that's a perspective. And I've decided to believe that life is easy and life can be easy if I choose it to be easy. And so I'm always on the lookout for easy. But that's a whole other conversation that I won't get into right now. But if that's interesting to you, if you've been conditioned to believe life is supposed to be hard and you're kind of going, I don't know if I buy that anymore, let me know because I'd love to talk to you about that. So I think that's it. Those are my 5 things. Meditate, do your 5 things journaling, get out in nature, do a feel-good rant, and take inspired action. Those are 5 things that if you just decided to focus on those 5 things every day, I'm telling you, things will change in your reality. You will start to feel better. And the things that you want will come to you quicker. So I'd love to know what you think about that if you're watching the replay. And I again apologize for delaying it for an hour. But if you're watching the replay, let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you have any questions. I love talking about this stuff. And I hope you have an awesome weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.